slime in her hair, a cafeteria full of whispers, and a twist no one saw coming. This is the kind of Reddit-style tale people pass around with a grin. A bully tried to humiliate a girl in front of everyone. The girl, often called Natalie in retellings, had other plans. Picture a regular school morning. Lockers clanging, sneakers squeaking, a crowd hungry for drama. The bully marches up with a jar of slime, bright and sticky. It lands in Natalie's hair and the room explodes with shock. Natalie freezes. Eyes sting, cheeks burn, hands tremble. She can feel every stare, every smirk. It feels like a win for the bully. Then the story shifts. Not with shouting, not with tears, but with something smarter. Something cooler, cleaner, and way more satisfying. The kind of move that flips a script in seconds. People love this story because it feels real. A small moment, a big mess, and a payoff that hits. It does not preach. It simply shows how smart payback can work without sinking to the bully's level. You will see a quick setup, the slime, the shock, the silence. Then you will see how one calm choice turned embarrassment into control. No loud scene, no wild chaos. Just timing, wit, and a little public pressure. Fans of school drama will feel the tension. Reddit readers will recognize the rhythm. The post that inspired this piece spread fast for a reason. It rewards patience. We will walk you through the hallway moment, the fallout, and the turning point. You will catch the clues before the reveal. Then the surprise lands where it hurts and where it heals. Ready to find out how a sticky prank led to the most satisfying revenge, and why the bully never saw it coming. The day the bully struck with slime. Hallway chatter thinned into a buzz, then a hush. Slime, bright and syrupy, slid through curls and onto tile. It was quick, loud, and meant to stick. The shock hit first. Then the weight of eyes, the kind that judge and enjoy. That moment did not define her, it introduced her. And it set the stage for what came after. Who was the girl behind the mess? She was the quiet kind of strong. Friends called her patient, teachers called her steady. She liked small things that built into something bigger. Sheet music marked with pencil notes. A sketchbook full of plants and faces. A shelf lined with thrifted mysteries and dog-eared paperbacks. She volunteered at the library on Fridays, shelving returns and recommending reads to kids who wandered in. She avoided trouble because she knew how it spreads. Noise attracts more noise. Drama grows like mold in damp spaces. So she picked her battles, kept her circle close, and gave people grace even when they did not deserve it. That choice did not make her weak. It made her careful. What made people root for her was how she treated others when no one watched. She saved seats for latecomers. She shared notes with anyone who missed a class. She comforted a freshman who cried in the locker bay, then walked her to the counselor. Kindness was not a pose. It was her default. She had goals that made her eyes light up. Early morning running routes, a part-time job at a cafe to fund a second-hand keyboard, a plan to apply for a summer art program. She kept her head down, not from fear, but from focus. That is why the slime hit so hard. It was a public hit at someone who never went looking for a fight. The shock did not wipe out her poise. It just paused it. Under the sticky mess and the staring crowd, she was doing math. Where to step, who to trust, when to move. The mess did not break her center. It sharpened it. The bully's motive and the prank setup. The bully chased laughs like oxygen. She had a crowd that thrived on quick hits, short videos, and louder moments. She saw attention as currency and cruelty as a shortcut. The motive was simple. Spark a scene, spike the views, cement her spot as the one who could make a hallway turn into a show. Her background was not tragic, it was typical. A few sidekicks, a loud locker area, a habit of nudging lines without crossing into real trouble. Teachers saw the charm before the sting. Classmates knew better. She targeted quiet kids who did not bite back. That is how she picked today's mark. The prank was not random. It was planned in steps, each one calculated to pull eyes and phones. Pick the time. Between second and third period, the heaviest pass, the tightest squeeze. Pick the place. The corner by the vending machines, where sound echoes and exits clog. Prep the slime. Neon, thick, slow in the pour, bought from a novelty shop 2 bus stops away. Plant the witness. One friend up the hall to signal arrival, another ready to record. Stage the line. Fake a bump, pretend to trip, swing the jar for accidental contact. Control the script. Laugh first, point next, invite the chorus to join in. She ran that sequence like a drill. No panic, no pause. A practiced flinch, a timed swing, a lid loosened for the perfect spill. It was theater set in a hallway. The goal was not just a mess, it was a moment that could be replayed on screens. But the plan had cracks. She forgot that attention cuts both ways. When you demand an audience, you also invite judgment. When you pick a kind person as your prop, you give everyone a clear contrast. Her laugh sounded forced in the echo. The slime looked cheap under the fluorescent lights, and the phones did not just record the splash, they recorded faces. There was tension, yes, but not only the kind she wanted. You could feel the shift as the camera panned. A few smirks, a few winces, a friend who lowered her phone. It is hard to cheer when the target stands still, breathes deep, and refuses to cry on cue. The prank had a script. The girl did not follow it. The setup got its scene, but it also planted a seed. The bully thought the moment would freeze the girl in place. Instead, it framed her next move. That is how the hallway turned from a stage to a pivot, and how slime became the start of something the bully could not control. Washing away the hurt, her first reaction. The bathroom mirror did not lie. Slime clung to strands, heavy and bright, like a bad joke that refused to end. She took a breath, then another, and centered herself. The sting stayed, but panic faded. She chose control over tears. That choice changed the day. Friends rallied to help clean the chaos. Her friends moved fast, no questions, just action. Paper towels, warm water, a travel-sized bottle of conditioner from a backpack. They flanked her like a shield and turned a mess into a mission. They did not try to fix the whole thing at once. They worked in small wins. One friend held her hair steady. Another eased the slime free in slow pulls. Someone cracked a joke to break the tension, quiet and kind, just enough to make her smile. Their care drowned out the hallway noise. Phones went away. The play-by-play silence felt loud in the best way. In that cramped bathroom, they built a bubble where the bully's laugh could not reach. "We got you," one said, simple and true. "You look strong," another added, because truth helps more than pity. "Let's make it neat," a third said, and offered a scrunchie. By the end, her hair was not perfect, but she was. Shoulders squared, jaw set, eyes steady. The slime did not win. It only made her circle tighter and her focus sharp. The bathroom became a small victory, a proof that kindness hits back harder than mockery. The spark of an idea for payback. As the last streak washed down the sink, her mind clicked into place. Not rage, not chaos, just a clean plan. She had read stories online about people who beat bullies with brains, not fists. Smart comebacks that made the truth visible, then let it sit. That was the tone she wanted. She pictured what mattered most. No screaming, no messy fight, just a moment that framed the bully with her own behavior. A moment everyone could see and understand. A moment the bully could not spin. Her rules formed fast. Be clever, not cruel. Aim public, but keep it safe. Make it fair, no cheap shots. Leave a trail of facts, not insults. One friend mentioned the cafe where she worked. Another remembered how the bully lived for attention. A thought took root. What if the spotlight found the right person at the right time on neutral ground? A place where people notice, where kindness is expected, and where rude behavior sticks out. She did not want revenge that rotted. She wanted closure that taught. The surprise would not be a trap. It would be a mirror. The bully would meet herself in it with a crowd that understood what they were seeing. Her hands were steady now. Her voice returned. She thanked her friends, squeezed the scrunchie, and packed her bag. The hallway show had ended. The next act would be quieter, smarter, and impossible to shrug off. A plan no one saw coming. She did not rush. She did not rant. She mapped out a quiet win that kept her safe and made the truth visible. The goal was not to humiliate. It was to let the bully's own behavior stand in the light. A clean move, set on neutral ground, with people around to see what respect looks like when it is tested. drawing from viral revenge stories online. Smart payback is not new. People online share how simple, legal steps can stop a bully without a scene. She pulled from those ideas, then shaped them to fit a cafe, a shift, and her safety. Proof first, viral threads often start with receipts, screenshots, and short clips. One story had a student quietly document messages, then show the bully's dad. The fallout was swift because the facts spoke louder than excuses. She used that logic. She saved the video of the slime, a few texts, and notes from witnesses. Nothing edited, nothing dramatic, just proof. Policy over pain. Some wins come from using rules that already exist. Stores and schools have codes for behavior, filming, and harassment. She checked her cafe's handbook. No filming customers without consent. No harassment of staff. Managers back staff when a guest acts out. That is not petty. That is policy. Humor that reveals, not harms. People love light pranks that expose habits. There's a classic soda story where a thief drinks a rigged can and learns fast. She would not risk food tampering or anything messy. Instead, she chose labeling that makes behavior clear. A sticker on cup sleeves that reads "Be kind or be canceled from service" already sat in a drawer for difficult guests. She asked to use it if needed. It is playful, but it sets a line. Public but gentle. Another common theme online is public exposure done with care. One woman recorded harassment, then posted the truth and found support. In a cafe, the post is the moment itself. She planned for witnesses, not a viral video. A clear call-out at the counter, a calm manager nearby, and a policy card on display. No yelling, no share online. The room would do the rest. How she adapted it for her day job. She prepped a small envelope labeled "For the manager." Inside were her saved clips and a short note about the hallway incident. If the bully caused trouble, her boss would be ready to act by the book. She placed a neat stack of customer conduct cards at the register. Friendly tone, bold line on respect, short line about no recording without consent. She got approval to use a cup sleeve with a bright kindness sticker for unruly guests. Not targeted by name, just clear to anyone watching. She set a fair repayment queue, a tip jar with a small sign, "Hair Rescue Fund, conditioner is not free." No guilt, no names. If the bully noticed, so would everyone else. This was not a trap. It was a mirror. The cafe would reflect the bully's choices back to her, in front of people who value kindness. Timing it perfect for maximum impact. Great timing turns a quiet plan into a sharp lesson. She did not guess. She watched, logged, and picked the moment that balanced impact with safety. She tracked the bully's pattern for a week. No stalking, just normal life routes that anyone could see. After-school path, bus to the strip with the nail salon and her cafe. Usual day, Tuesday or Thursday around 3:45, right before the after-school rush. Asterisk entourage size. One friend, sometimes two, phones always out. Style, loud entry, quick order, hover by the bar to be seen. She picked Thursday, 3:50, when the cafe stays busy but not packed. Enough witnesses, not enough chaos. That time gives managers bandwidth. It also draws in regulars who know her and trust her. Logistics that make a difference. Spotters, a friend studied in the far corner, texted a simple "Here" when the bully walked in. No eye contact, no taunts, just a quiet ping to confirm the stage was set. Positions, she stayed on register, not the bar. That keeps a counter between them. It also puts the conduct cards in plain sight and ensures the order name is said out loud by a second barista. Manager on deck. Her shift lead took the back table, laptop open, ready to step in if lines were crossed. The lead knew the hallway story and had the envelope. Script, she practiced 2 calm lines. "Hi, what can I get started for you?" If baited. "We serve everyone, respect goes both ways." Short, polite, final. Witnesses who care. A pair of regulars arrived most days around 3:40. A teacher graded papers. A nurse stopped in for tea. People who notice tone. People who respect staff. That is the audience you want. She planned for exits, too. If the bully tried to film her, she would point to the policy card and call the manager. If the bully made a scene, she would step aside and let the lead refuse service. If the bully acted normal, she would ring the order, use the kindness sleeve, call the name clearly, and let the room clock the mismatch between attitude and sign. Small touches raise the stakes without raising voices. She wrote the name clean and bold on the cup. No jokes, no jabs, just a steady hand. She set the cup on the bar, kindness sleeve facing forward. The message was for everyone, not just one person. If there was a snide comment, she would meet it with silence and a glance to the policy. The manager would take it from there. The plan protected her, gave the bully a chance to behave, and made any bad choice obvious in public. That is how you stage a surprise. Not with chaos, but with clarity, witnesses, and a clock that favors patience. The revenge moment, when slime turned into sweet justice. The cafe felt steady and warm. Espresso hissed, the door chimed, and the line rolled forward. She stood at the register, calm as granite. The stage was set without a single lie. Policy cards stood upright. The kindness sleeve waited. Her script stayed short. The bully walked in like she owned the room, and the room quietly disagreed. The bold move in front of everyone. She did not rush the moment. She walked it forward, one clean step at a time. Each move said, I see you, I remember, I choose how this ends. Approach, she greeted the bully by the book, eyes steady, voice light. Hi, what can I get started for you? No quiver, no snark. The order, the bully tried to bait her with a smirk. It slid off. She rang it up, wrote the name clean and large, and set the cup in the making line. The label, she slid on the kindness sleeve, bright and clear. The message faced outward where everyone could see. Not a dig, a standard. Be kind or be canceled from service. The policy, the conduct card stood at the register. No filming, no harassment. Respect goes both ways, everyone saw it. The handoff, she moved to the pickup bar, called the name with full volume, crisp and calm. No wobble, no rush, just the truth made public. The bully reached for the cup and paused. Her eyes caught the sleeve, then the card. Then the manager at the back table, watching like a referee who already knows the rules. The bully tried a comment, a small cut meant to draw blood. It fizzled. The loud call came next, not a shout, a clear note that carried. Order for name, please remember our respect policy. She set the cup down where the sleeve read like a headline. The room went still, then leaned in. Phones did not come up, heads did. Silence hit the bully like a wall. Not fear, not anger. Stunned quiet. She had walked in to be seen. Now she was seen for what she had done. Her mouth opened, then closed. No script. No laugh, just a flush rising, the kind you cannot hide. She did not push. She let the moment breathe. The manager stood. The bully blinked. The kindness sleeve glowed like a sign she could not peel off. How the crowd's laughter changed everything. The crowd pivoted on a dime. Peers who once laughed at slime now laughed at the message on the sleeve. It was not cruel. It was the kind of chuckle that says, we get it. We were here when you tried to be loud. We are still here now that your loud is small. It started with a snicker near the window. Then a soft laugh from the teacher grading papers. The nurse smiled into her tea. Her friend in the corner looked down and hid a grin. The sound rose, light and clean, not a pylon, more like a reminder of what is fair. The bully shrank a little. The room did not attack her. It did not need to. The sleeve and the policy did the work. People looked from the card to her face and back to the barista. They put the hallway and the cafe side by side. The contrast stung. A few kids from school whispered, not with cruelty but with relief. They were done clapping for cheap hits. They liked this better. Accountability tasted sweet. The manager's presence sealed it. No threats. No scene. Just a firm nod that said the staff is safe and the rules stand. The bully could take the drink and be decent, or she could try to start something and be checked. The room waited. She took the drink. She mumbled something that tried to pass for casual. The sleeve faced out as she turned, a postcard from her own behavior. Laughter followed her to the door, soft and knowing. It was not revenge for revenge's sake. It was balance being restored in plain sight. That is what changed everything. The crowd did not want blood. They wanted fairness. They saw a kind person hold the line and win without shouting. They saw a bully meet a mirror, and they chose which side to cheer. After the payback, lessons from a sticky situation. When the cafe quieted and the laughter shifted, something clicked for both of them. The stunt lost its shine. The truth stood up. What mattered most was not the clapback line or the sleeve on a cup. It was the power shift that followed, the new habits, and the calm that stayed. This was not about a victory lap. It was about knowing you can hold the line and still sleep well. The lesson sticks because it came without a shout and without a mess. It came from a mirror the bully could not dodge. The bully's change, and the girl's new strength. The bully stopped swaggering in the halls. She walked softer, watched faces, checked for cameras she could not see. Her crew's laughs got quieter. The hallway felt less like a stage and more like a place to pass through. She did not offer an apology, but the power she borrowed from attention was gone. That is a change you can feel. The girl felt new weight in her stance. Not anger, not gloating, a steady kind of brave. Friends noticed first. They smiled when she walked by the lockers and lifted their chins like a salute. They teased her with the good kind of jokes, the kind that say we saw what you did and we are proud. She carried herself like someone who knows her voice will not shake. Small moments proved it. She spoke up in class and kept eye contact. No rush, no second guessing. She passed the bully in the hall, nodded once and kept moving, clean and calm. At work, she held firm on the conduct card with anyone who pushed. Staff backed her without a word. Her friends' pride did more than heal. It grew her center. Inside jokes turned into anchors. "Policy queen," one said with a grin. "Kindness leaves forever," another added. Corny, but in the best way. Their support made the win stick, and it kept bitterness from taking root. The bully felt that shift too. Without an audience to feed her, she faded. People were not rude to her. They just stopped giving her the reaction she wanted. That is the worst punishment for someone who lives on noise. Silence became a boundary she could not cross. The girl did not chase more payback. She did not need it. The cafe moment did its work. She focused on the next test, the next shift, the next morning run. You could see it in her walk. The mess from the slime was gone, but the strength stayed. Tips for your own smart comebacks. Clean wins come from simple moves you can repeat. These tips draw from real stories that work, online and off, and from this cafe moment that hit right where it should. Stay calm, keep your voice level. Count to 3. Calm draws eyes and wins trust. Use humor with care. A light line that reveals behavior can be enough. Smile small and let it land. Collect facts. Save messages, note dates, ask a friend to witness. Facts beat drama every time. Set clear boundaries, name the rule. Respect goes both ways. Keep it short and final. Use policy, not insults. House rules, school codes, and store policies are shields. Hold them up. Pick a safe stage. Choose public places with staff, cameras, and allies. Neutral ground helps. Let silence work. Do not fill every pause. Let the crowd do some of the talking with their eyes. Do not post if you do not need to. A live moment can teach more than a clip online. Bring support. A friend nearby, a manager in the loop, a teacher who knows your plan. Escalate when needed. If harm continues, go formal. Report in writing. Ask for help from adults with authority. Protect your peace. Win and walk. Do not trade jabs after the lesson lands. Examples help anchor the point. A student took her bullies to court and won. Legal paths can work when harm is real and ongoing. A quick thinker used a school rule to stop a boy from pestering her. Smart, fair, and final. Some people choose to live well and move on. Success and distance can close a chapter without a fight. Use what fits your safety and your values. The best comeback is the one that teaches, protects, and lets you leave the scene with your head high. Slime, a cafe, and the cleanest clapback. Conclusion. A jar of slime tried to write her story, then a single kindness sleeve rewrote the ending. The twist was not louder payback. It was a quiet setup that let the bully face herself in a bright, ordinary room. Proof in an envelope, Policy in plain sight, timing that gave the crowd a clear view. That is why the laugh flipped and stayed that way. Clever wins feel good because they protect peace and teach at the same time. This one did not chase drama, it starved it. She kept her cool, used rules that already existed, and let the room choose. The bully left with a drink, a lesson, and no spotlight to hide behind. The girl left with her center intact and a little more steel in her step. Got a story where you turned noise into quiet justice, or a moment where kindness held the line? Drop it in the comments. Share what worked, what you would try, or how a teacher, manager, or friend had your back. Keep names private, keep details safe, keep the spirit sharp. If you are facing a hallway like hers, remember this playbook. Save the receipts, pick a safe stage, use short lines that land, let silence help. You do not need to bark to be heard. Sometimes the best clapback is a calm room that sees the truth and laughs at the right part. Thanks for reading and riding the tension with us. Come back for more stories where smart beats loud, and where the mic drop is a cup set down, sleeve facing forward. Kind wins last longer. Keep it classy, keep it clever, and keep the comments rolling.